it's just too boring for me, or coding might be too hard for me. Like right after high school, I'm really into computer science or like software engineering. I wanted to work as a software engineer, but then I realized that like I cannot do it that well. I might need to switch into something that I can use my soft skill of communication, presentation. So data science or data consultant or data analyst might be something that suits me more. So yeah, I felt like I'm not good enough for a really long time. But then I think the environment and the people there really try to help you to be better and better every day. My manager and my seniors, they are very supportive. They are willing to help me with any questions that I have, and I join like the competitions for all the interns in PwC Australia, like across the country, and we actually win that competitions.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to diaXpora. We at diaXpora have started this podcast to empower international students and any newcomer who is coming to Australia to empower them with industry insights, the challenges they face around Australia, to getting integrated into this culture and helping with their finances, day-to-day life, and and also we bring on some amazing guest speakers who could share their experiences, which could be helpful to navigate your life and career in Australia. So today we have with us Oliver, who is a veteran and who has been into a diverse space in Australia. He has worked in corporate consultancy and academic. Now we would be hearing from Oliver. So Oliver, welcome to the show. Thanks for taking some time out and joining us on the podcast. Initially, we will first start with about your journey to Australia. So, what do you think? Is there any point in time like you would say, yeah, this is it, I'm moving to Australia?
Okay, so thank you so much for having me here today.
Yeah.
So my journey to Australia started in 2020, I think. So right after COVID, I was in Russia before. So right after COVID, I decided to move back to Vietnam, started doing something cool with my friends. And at that point, I really loved data. So I just loved data so much. And at that point, I was currently doing computer science and software engineering was one of my thing. But then I decided, well, I don't really like software engineering that much, so I might need to switch into something more mathematics and sciencey. So data science came up there, and I think of different countries to study in, not Russia anymore, because the language barriers was a big thing for me. So Australia came as the first option, and it came here right after COVID.
So, in Russia, compared to Australia, have you experienced any cultural difference, like cultural shock, that you see what's quite different in Russia and here in Australia is quite different?
Well, I could say Australia is a much more diverse country. We have people coming from different nationalities, from different continents. We have different backgrounds compared to Moscow, Russia, where I lived before. The majority of the people coming from Russia, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, yeah. But yeah, when I moved to Australia, I feel like it's a much more diverse country. Yeah, I can meet people.
So, and you were studying in Russia, is it?
Yeah.
So, you have studied in Russia, then you moved to Australia, you studied here. So, in terms of education, what do you feel about like what's the challenges and opportunities in both the education system?
Well, I like the Australian education system more. I don't say which one is better, but Australian fits me more. So the first thing that I like about Australian education is the duration of the degree is so much shorter. So if you want to get a bachelor degree in Russia, it takes you 4 years, but here it takes you 3 years. So it's less in terms of duration. I think it's more practical here in Australia. So we didn't go deep into the theory. So practical education is focused here in the country, which I really prefer. So yeah, if I need to choose it again, I think I will go to Australia.
And you did your data analyst degree over here.
Mm.
So is there any point in time like that you realize like you want to focus more on the data side? And like what made you choose to go in this career field?
Well, actually, I did my Bachelor of Data Science in
Mm-hmm.
Australia,
Mm-hmm.
so it's pretty broad in the ways that I can work as a data analyst or data scientist or data engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So it supports us to work in majority of position, not just data analyst.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I chose data analyst or data analytics because I really want to work with different business holders and support them with their decision making using data.
Mm-hmm. So were you always interested in data?
Well, not really. Like right after high school, I'm really into computer science or like
Mm-hmm.
software engineering. I wanted to work as a software engineer in mobile developer, in mobile development. But then I realized that it's just too boring for me, or coding might be too hard for me. Like I cannot do it that well.
Yeah.
So I feel like, okay, I might need to switch into something that I can use my soft skill of communication, presentation. So data science or data consultant or data analyst might be something that suits me more. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Like data science is more at the end where
Yeah.
you don't have to deal much with coding
Mm.
and more of the intense mathematical stuff. It's more on visualization and communicating the insights with the stakeholders and the people that you work with. So after you came to Australia, you started studying your data science degree.
Mm-mm.
Uh, was it difficult for you to get into the job market in Australia?
Well, it was challenging actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have a little bit of experience before coming to the country. So compared to people who don't have any working experience before, I think in my case might be a little bit easier. So I got my first job after the first year coming to Australia, which is pretty good, working as a research analyst in Cancer Council, Queensland.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think the prior experience definitely helps a lot when you come to a new country like Australia.
Yeah. And you're someone like who has worked in the academic field
Mm-mm.
and in the corporate world as well.
Mm-mm.
So do you feel like one is better than the other? And if you have to pick one, which one would you pick?
Well, I actually picked the industry pathway, but I can't say it's better than the academia because I think it's really based on your personalities. So I am someone who loves talking with people. I want to work in the corporate life where I have different colleagues. I can solve different business problem every day. So I feel like industry is more dynamic for a person like me. I do like academia or teaching or tutoring because I can talk to the students. I can help them become better and better every single day. But I just don't really like research. I'm not into that path. So yeah, that's why I didn't do my PhD or master by research, but decided to go out the industry and get my job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what was your like when you were working with QT? What was your role over there? Like how did you started with QT? Can you share your experience?
Well,
How did
yeah,
you get?
good. Yeah, so I started working for my university, Queensland University of Technology, as a student officer.
Yeah.
So I supported students with different questions that they have during the time at the university. So I've been working for them for like 2 years. And then I got some invitation from my professors to work as a tutor for some of the unit that I did well at uni. And then, yeah, I think it's a very good opportunity for me to teach someone and to refresh my knowledge as well. So I've been doing tutoring for many statistics, data science, programming, and mathematics units at my university. Been doing that for nearly 2 years. Really enjoy that. I will keep doing that for the future, I guess, if I still in Queensland or Brisbane. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say like tutoring is kind of your hobby? Like you
Yeah.
love to teach
Yeah.
students? Yeah. And would you continue to pursue that hobby as a full time?
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I really want to do it for the long term. So I want to teach someone. I want to mentor them. I want to help them become better and better every day. And I think it's the best feeling when you can show someone the very difficult topic that you struggle a lot in the past,
Right.
and seeing them understand that and can use that in their day-to-day work makes me feel so much better. So I don't feel tired when I tutor someone or when I teach someone, because even now, like, I usually do that after work. So I have 9 to 5 working in the office, and then after 5, go to the campus and teach the student. Well, yeah.
And you've been tutoring for students for quite some time, and you have also worked in the corporate space. So during your academics and also while tutoring, do you feel like there is something lacking in the education system that it is not able to keep up with the industry standards?
Oh, that's a very good question. It might be very controversial, but I think Australian university are currently doing very well in terms of preparing the student to the job market. However, I think they can do a little bit more. They can incorporate more practical units or like internship or co-op programs, so the student can gain more experience while they study. I know that some university they give that units in the last year of the degree, but I think they can do a little bit earlier. So I know that some university in the United States, they have co-op programs that allow students to work during their semester for a lot of good companies. So if Australian can adapt that kind of system, I think that should be very helpful for student, especially international student, to get the job earlier in their degree.
And like when you said like Australia can do much better, so you're seeing some potential gaps in the education system, and one of the gap you mentioned is like they could give more industry exposure, like giving internships to the student, and so other than that, in the learning part, like which comes in the theoretical part, do you see like anything like there's a gap and there could be a potential like it could be more revised so that it matches the industry standards?
Well, personally, I just did one degree at one university, so it's really hard for me to comment on the syllabus of different university in the country.
Yeah.
But me, myself, in Queensland University of Technology, QT, I really like the structure of my Bachelor of Data Science. So it gave me a well-rounded approach to the data science field. So I feel like all the skills that I need, they kind of introduced to me. So whenever they introduce that to me, I know what to learn, what to do. So I don't expect uni to show me everything, but I expect them to introduce me to the word of data science. And I think they did it pretty well. Yeah.
And let's dive more into about how you made the transition from being into a student to more into your professional work.
Yeah.
Like, was it difficult for you to find your first job?
It was not that difficult. So after my first year at uni, I did one statistic unit pretty well, and one professor who ran that unit introduced me to that job at Cancer Council Queensland. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy, pretty lucky. Yeah.
So would you say like since before coming to Australia, you already had some industry experience, so that was kind of a boost up.
Yeah.
And even in the Australian market, they really prefer your industry experience. Do you think industry experience is preferred your academic qualifications in Australia?
What depends? It really depends on the position that you apply for. I feel like for some position like vocation program, which is pretty popular here in the country, they don't actually expect you to have stacks of working experience. But if you have some, that would be a plus. But I do believe that if you don't have any industry or working experience before, your academic background really helps. So you should do well in your studies.
And also you have fair bit of experience from different industry. You have worked with Cancer Council, you have worked with the consultancy firm PwC, you have worked with Queensland University of Technology. So how has your experience been working in academic, working in consultancy, and working in the other corporate companies?
Okay, it's a very big question here. So for education, higher education, like QUT, I really enjoy the academic environment. So I like talking with people who've been in academia for a really long time. So they're very knowledgeable. They know all the things that we need for that field. So I like the people when I work in the higher education sector. Uh, for consulting, like PwC, I like the environment. So it's very friendly, dynamic. People are very welcoming. They always willing to talk to you, to help you. So I like the coffee catch up things at Big Four. So we usually have coffee catch up with a new person every single day, which allowed me to make so much more friends in the country. I've been working with Suncorp, which is one of the big insurance in the country, and I like the work that they do. So whenever you do something, it's actually have an impact on millions of people in Australia. So I know that my work actually helping people out there. So which made me feels like every day going to work is a new thing, and I can contribute to Australia, the country that I'm currently living in. And now I'm working at Quantium and I'm supporting Woolies, which is a retail, one of the biggest retailer in the country. And I feels like I can see my work whenever I go to the supermarket. So I'm actually helping them with the pricing strategy. And whenever I see they have some discount for certain products, before I didn't understand how that worked, but now I kind of have an understanding of, okay, I know that why you give discounts for that specific product. So it's pretty interesting when you see your work in your day-to-day life.
Yep, we will go on to the part about what does a pricing analyst do. But before that, I would like to know, like, how was your experience working with PwC? It's generally said that consultancy is one of the best job to work in, but also quite challenging. So do you have any stories to share?
Well, I love PwC so much. I would say many, many times I love PwC people and in the environment and the work that they do. However, at first, when I joined the fund, well, I think each and every one of us, when we join a big companies, we have experienced at least one imposter syndrome. So you feels like you're not good enough. You feels like what you know doesn't meet the expectation of the people there. So I did experience the same thing when I first joined the firm. I feels like I'm just an international student, haven't finished my degree, enjoy a big company, and I support like a very big clients of the firm, and yeah, I felt like I'm not good enough for a really long time. But then I think the environment and the people there really try to help you to be better and better every day. My manager and my seniors, they are very supportive. They are willing to help me with any questions that I have. And then after the first few weeks, I joined like the competitions for all the interns in PwC Australia, like across the country, and we actually win that competitions. And yeah, after that, I feel like okay, I feel like I know the things that they need, and they actually value my ideas and also my output to the company. And after that experience, I feel like I need to be more confident. I need to voice what I think out. I need to let people know that I can do the job.
Yeah. So it's like in consultancy, you always have to give more than what is required. You always have to be like always be ready to learn something different and something additional to what you already know.
Well, I don't think that you always need to do more than what you are asked for. In Australia, I don't think it's a big thing. So it's very work-life balanced. But in company like PwC, one of the big four, you need to be willing to learn new things. For example, me coming as a data science undergrad student joining the firm, I might need to do a lot of presentation, which I didn't do a lot in uni.
Mhm.
I usually focus on technical units like modelings or data science stuff, but I didn't do any business unit. But when I joined the firm, I might need to learn some auditing units. I might need to learn new things to make sure that I understand the work that the firm is doing. But yeah,